So, have you been curious about crypto, but maybe felt like you were just standing on the outside looking in? If that's you, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise and give you a clear, safe roadmap for your first 6 months in this world of digital assets. Let's get you going on a smart start to crypto. And you know what? That is the perfect way to describe it. The crypto space can feel like this loud, chaotic marketplace with a million different people yelling at you. So it's totally normal to feel a little intimidated. In fact, that feeling of being overwhelmed is exactly why a smart, methodical start is so important. You begin right here. Seriously, think of this as your crypto driver's ed. We are not trying to jump into a Formula One race on day one. Nope. We're going to learn the rules of the road, figure out how the controls work, and learn how to navigate the traffic safely. The goal here is to build confidence and control from the very beginning. Okay, before we even think about buying a single thing, we have to talk about the most important concept in all of crypto. And I mean it. This isn't just a tip, it's a huge shift in how you need to think about money and ownership. It's the foundation for everything else we're going to cover. This is the big one. It's a complete shift in thinking. See, in the traditional world, if you lose your debit card or you forget your password, what do? You call the bank, right? There's a safety net. Well, in crypto, that safety net is gone. You have all the power, which is incredible, but you also have all the responsibility. There is no customer service line to call if you mess up. So the big question is, how do you secure your bank? Well, it all comes down to this, your seed phrase. This is not like a password you can just reset. It is the one and only master key to your funds. If you lose it, your crypto is gone forever. If someone else gets their hands on it, they can, and they absolutely will, empty your wallet. Protecting this is your number one job, period. This right here is a really simple way to understand a key concept. Think of a hot wallet, like a mobile app, as your purse. It's online, it's convenient for small amounts you might want to spend, but you wouldn't carry your entire life savings in it, right? A cold wallet, on the other hand, is like you're safe at home. It's totally offline, completely disconnected, and it's perfect for securely storing larger amounts for the long term. And this brings us to the mantra I want you to repeat to yourself over and over. Protect first, profit later. Think about it. 100% gain means absolutely nothing if your account gets hacked and it all disappears. By focusing on security first, you avoid those devastating mistakes that cause most beginners to just give up. So let's see how this mindset looks in practice. All right, we've got the mindset down. Now for the fun part, taking some clear, actionable steps. And don't worry, this isn't nearly as complicated as it sounds. When you follow the right process, going from zero to owning your very first piece of crypto is actually pretty straightforward. Let's walk through this. When you're setting up your first mobile wallet, the most important step here by far is number 3. When you get your seed phrase, do not screenshot it. Do not save it in your phone's notes app. You need to write it down on a physical piece of paper, check it twice, and then store that paper somewhere safe and offline where nobody else is going to find it. This is your one and only backup. Okay, wallet set up, you're ready for your first purchase. Now, for beginners, the smartest move is to just stick with the big ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They've been around the longest, and they have the largest, most secure networks. Start small, an amount you'd be okay with losing as the price of your education. And always double-check the fees before you hit that confirm button. And just like that, boom, you've taken your first real step into the world of crypto. Okay, so you conceptually own a digital asset now. Is the job done? Oh, not even close. Now your number one priority shifts to protecting it. I want you to think of this next phase as building a digital fortress around your money. In fact, if you only do one more thing to beef up your security after setting up your wallet, it has to be this next one. This is the single most effective action you can take. And that is two-factor authentication, or 2FA. But here's the crucial part. You need to use an app like Google Authenticator or Authy. Do not use SMS text messages for your codes. Why? Because hackers have these clever techniques to swap your SIM card and intercept those texts, totally bypassing your security. An authenticator app is just way more secure. This slide, this is your survival guide. These are the most common threats you're going to see. So listen up. There are no guaranteed profits in crypto. If someone promises you that, it's a scam. And no legitimate support person will ever slide into your DMs and ask for your seed phrase. Ever. Scammers love to create urgency and that fear of missing out. Your best defense is just a healthy dose of skepticism. If it sounds too good to be true, you know what? It is.
So now that we have the security foundations in place, let's zoom out a bit. The goal isn't just to survive your first week, right? It's to actually thrive over your first 6 months. And having a long-term roadmap like this turns all that chaotic energy into focused, manageable progress.
This is your path. And notice how the first few months are all about building good habits, securing your seed phrase, practicing little transactions, learning about different tools, and even assets like stablecoins, which are designed to hold a stable value. It's only later on that you start to fortify security with things like a hardware wallet. This isn't about getting rich quick, it's about building a solid, lasting foundation of knowledge. And that's really the whole philosophy behind this. You don't need to understand every single thing about blockchain on day one. You just need to be safe, you need to be methodical, and you need to be informed. Confidence comes from building good habits over time, not from taking massive risks. A slow and steady approach is absolutely the smartest way to win here. So, let's just quickly recap the big takeaways. First, you are your own bank. That means you've got all the power, but also all the responsibility. Second, your mantra is protect first, profit later. And third, by following a step-by-step plan, you can build confidence and knowledge without taking any crazy risks. Remember, this is not a race. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Well, you now have the map. So the only question left is, what will your first safe, thoughtful, and smart step be?